Hi, I'm Megamin, and in this video, I'll be going over 10 voice lines from the main character that blurs the line between gameplay mechanics and lore. Most of us don't even look at main character because obviously there are better characters that do the same skill set but better. But if you look at the profile of the MC and voice lines between Paimon and Traveler, they have some pretty interesting details. Most are just fun character building of Paimon and the Traveler, but if you look through the almost 100 voice lines between the two, you can dig up a few that answers some of the questions we had from the first day of the game, and as well as some just add more questions to the ever-growing pot of questions. So here I have collected 10 such voice lines from the Traveler and will explain the importance of these and some potential red flags in them. These are just few I personally found interesting, but there are more lines like this. Also, this is not a ranking, so some could be more important than the others, but I didn't bother putting them in order of importance. Oh, and they are in chronological order, so if it's spoilers for you, you can figure it out. Without further ado, let's observe these peculiar voice lines.
Teyvet's day and night both seem particularly short. The skies here are full of stars, but they aren't the same as the ones back home. I wonder if the fates of people from Teyvet are also related to their constellations.
Oh? Do you know how to read the stars too? That's amazing! Not a lot of people outside Sumeru can do it. That's curious. Come on, do a reading for me, quick!
The night sky pictured on Paimon's cape flows with the light of many stars, and also of the deep ocean. The movement of these stars tells me that, in say, 7 days from now...
In 7 days what?
Something good or something bad might occur.
Right. Your theory sounds as rock solid as a geoslime, and about as brainy too.
Without going too far, we get our first blurred line between gameplay and world building. At first, I also thought the time runs faster in the game because usually games do accelerate time so the world size doesn't feel alienated with time. What I mean is, if you run 1 kilometer in the game, it's not that far and doesn't take much in real life time, but it takes a lot of time in game. Also, the distance in Genshin have the same similarity. In the Moon Chest quest, the Guili assembly is said to be situated 60 miles south from Wangshuin, but it's like 500 meters to us. In Genshin, the traveler feels the time like us on Earth, but the time goes faster for the rest of the world. And this answers how the twin slept for 500 years.
To think that the Geo Archon had signed a contract with the Cryo Archon. I wonder what the contents of their agreement were.
Paimon doesn't care who you are. Making a deal with the Tsaritsa is super dangerous.
Be that as it may. Since Morax is the god who understands the basis of contracts the best, he's definitely given this some thought.
Well, that's true. Morax himself called it the contract to end all contracts.
I trust that we will witness the truth and its denouement play out.
If you jump to conclusions by pointing the whole blame of the waking up osial to child, this dialogue gives more than enough proof that the whole osial ordeal is a plan of Morax all along, and Tsaritsa's too. Morax is the one who sealed osial, so he is technically the only one who knows how to break the seal. And he knew what he is going into. So yeah, if you blame child for trying to destroy Liyue, blame Morax and Tsaritsa too. Morax planned it, Tsaritsa gave supplies in form of the sigil of permission, also maybe given by Morax cause it's something related to Liyue and Adaptai.
The Eclipse Tribe. Huh. So the Hilly Churls have normal-sounding tribe names like these, too.
The Hilly Churls of the Eclipse Tribe are really mysterious. All the Hilly Churls of that tribe can draw an eclipse symbol. But rumor has it that only the Dada Samachurl of the Eclipse tribe knows why the Eclipse symbol is so revered within their tribe.
An eclipse symbol.
Did you say something?
I was asking you what sort of soup you'd like to have tonight.
Can't stop thinking about food, huh? Seems like you'd be more at home in the Main tribe than the Eclipse tribe. But anyway, Paimon wants more soup. Thanks!
Eclipse, huh? Where else have I heard this name before? Maybe a certain twilight sword of the Eclipse dynasty? Or a calamity that happened on a day of an eclipse? And yes, Lumin kinda dodged that question cause I believe she was awake in Khaenri'ah during the cataclysm, but left before the calamity. That's why main character knows what it is, but doesn't know the full extent of the details, including who really did or what happened. And from what I observed, the Hilichurls of this tribe draws an eclipse cause that's the last memory they had as humans of Khaenri'ah before turning into monsters. In my last video, I came to a conclusion that gods' alchemic creations might be the reason gods became pissed off towards Khaenri'ah. I think the twins witnessed the monster outbreak, but our twin didn't see the part where the gods came and cleaned up the mess. But we know that the Abyss twin did see the whole extent of what happened.
Have you ever had one of those super scary nightmares?
I've dreamt of falling through endless darkness without a wind glider. I've also dreamt of my brother walking away from me while I'm unable to catch up to him no matter how fast I run. He tells me that I've come too late.
Oh, yours are quite different from the ones that Paimon's had. Paimon's scariest dream was being eaten by a super giant slime.
This dream about falling into an endless darkness is stated and shown in two other places. First is when Ajax fell into the abyss, and recently when we were drowning in the Inazuma trailer, which we still didn't get to see. This also might be Abyss twins' memory, cause sometimes twins do share experiences and even death without a scientific explanation.
Hey, do that again! You know, that thing!
Which one?
The one where you make your weapon disappear with a swish, and then whoosh! You make it appear behind your back again!
Oh, that. Haven't you seen that a ton already?
But Paimon hasn't figured out how you do it yet. Could you explain it?
Well, can you explain how you suddenly appear in front of me and then disappear just as suddenly?
Well, Paimon seems to have always been able to do this, but Paimon doesn't know how.
Precisely. I believe that the art of putting my weapon away follows the same principle. Maybe it's this similarity that makes us such good friends.
Here's the other border blurring dialogue. This was on my mind since the day I saw Deluxe cutscene in Mondstadt. Where do they store those huge weapons, and where do all the arrows of an archer come from? And this, see? Where did that Dango skewer go? All the playable characters have this ability, but there is no information about this mythical storage. I think everyone who can tap into the ley line energy can make a subspace storage that they use to store weapons, food, artifacts, and other items. That explains how we store items in our inventory in thousands. Who would have thought that adaptive arts are just everyday used magic, but just a bit advanced?
What do you think of treasure chests?
I believe that they were left behind by great travelers who once passed this way. Every time I open one and look at its contents, I can feel a certain kinship with those who came before.
And that's how you get adventure experience.
This is also kinda blurring the line between meta and lore. You get adventure experience when opening a chest, and here it's said in the flesh. And from what I observed, some of these chests found in the wild might be from our Abyss twin, who woke up first at a different time. He might have placed this chest all over Teyvet, so we are forced to learn the truth about this world through stories behind puzzles. Do I have proof? Nope. Nothing. Just this line about feeling a certain kinship is our only lead. The word kinship means a sharing of characteristics or origins. So if we take this origin part, the only family Lumin have in Teyvet is a twin.
It never stops raining on Yashiori Island. I heard it's because of the lingering evil energy.
Evil energy? What's that? Sounds terrifying.
It's caused by the remains of an evil god somewhere on the island. Because its power hasn't fully dispersed, the remaining energy causes all sorts of misfortunes. That's what I meant when I said evil energy.
Oh, that makes sense. But Paimon doesn't think rain is a bad thing. Maybe that god has been crying all this time because they were bullied.
Crying? I don't think gods can cry. I mean, I've never seen Venti or Zhongli cry before.
There are exceptions. If you pinch Paimon, you'll be able to see a crying god.
Are you a god?
Paimon sure is.
Okay, let me guess.
The flying god of silly questions? The god of slimes? Or the god of being fished out from the water?
Paimon's none of those. As your bodyguard, Paimon is the god of protection.
Ignore the elephant in the room and let's talk about what this evil energy is. From what I learned from Buddhism at school and what I observed from in-game content, I believe this evil energy is not just a curse. There are two sources for this. First is the Black Aura. This is the curse created when someone dies with resentment towards something, someone or someplace, with greed, evil or good intentions. We call these souls or creatures Pereta. Second one is the Purple Aura. This is the eroded ley line energy of gods. This is why it's purple and not colorless. Gods absorb power of the ley line and use their respective powers, and whatever is left over is the purple miasma. If you want to learn more about the ley line energy, refer to this video, link in the description. Collected over thousands of years, leaked out into the land. Who cares if Paimon is a god or not? We'll get to know it sooner or later.
Paimon wonders what the previous Shogun was like.
It appears that she was a person who understood the fleeting nature of things and accepted the inevitable fate of departing this world one day.
After all, realizing the fragility of things in front of you makes you treasure them even more.
This way of thinking must have influenced Inazuma's aesthetics. This world is transient. People come and go.
The fun times we shared, our companionship, and the delicious foods we got to savor. Those emotions and experiences are real things that existed at some point in time, not just empty concepts.
Even though every banquet must eventually come to an end, it'd be nice to enjoy those happy moments for a little longer.
Shifting seasons and elusive dreams, the ephemeral and fleeting, with thine companionship, all are eternal.
Paimon doesn't get it.
I'm saying that I'm having a lot of fun traveling with you, Paimon. It'd be nice if we could just go on like this forever.
Paimon will take your word for it then.
All the archons of a single region usually have the same motives. But I believe these two Electro Archon twins looked alike, but had completely opposite motives. One knew everything changes and accepted the reality, truth. Other knew the same thing but wanted unchanging eternity, ideals. Baal and Beelzebub, truth and ideals, yin and yang. Let's end on a happy note. Here are my two favorite dialogues from the main duo.
In Inazuma, it's customary for parents to choose a lucky name for their child.
Those names symbolize everyone's expectations and wishes for the child, like prosperity, wealth, good health, and safety.
Because of these expectations, parents often pick extra long names and cram all sorts of blessings into them.
So, hypothetically, if one day a little girl fell into a lake on her way back home, Then her friends might rush to her house to tell everyone. Something bad happened!
Oh, what happened?
Oswaldo Hrafnevines, Prinzessin de Verteilung, Fischl von Lufschloss Narfadort, come quick! Centennial genius astrologist Mona Magistus has fallen into the water!
Mona falling into the water doesn't sound like an emergency situation, though.
Precisely. The fast-swimming Mona would come back home around the same time her friends are done saying her name.
Muso no Hitotachi is amazing! It can beat any enemy with a single slash!
But for child, it might need 3 slashes.
Yeah. Anyway, if you mastered that technique, Paimon wouldn't have to worry about you for the rest of our journey.
So where can one learn that technique?
Yeah, where can one learn that technique? Quit looking at Paimon like that! Oh, okay. Paimon will keep an eye on you during our adventures.
Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new from my observations. If this video gets to maybe 50 likes, I'll do a one interesting voice line from all the characters video. So comment down below your favorite voice line from the duo and subscribe for more out of this world content like this.